I don't know if anybody. I don't even know if anyone even remembers that the the last show
The last
joke
show.
that was going on.
That was like last year, wasn't it? Like
I
January or something like that.
was it a whole year ago? We were, um, you know,
Yeah, it was. I think it was
flaunt,
probably starting the whole year.
flaunting the whole joke about the last show. Man, dude, this has been going on for a while, a really long time.
The longest running podcast. Still
The
no
biggest
sponsors. Still no sponsors. The zero
spons
sponsor spot podcast.
sponsored by everyone out there. Uh, don't forget. Oh God, I can't even see my other screen here. Oh God, don't forget. Those of you just joining us right now, smash that like button. It could really help us out here on our live podcast that we bring to you every Monday, as we try to. And right now we are on pre-show mode. Well, we'll get started on the show in about 11 minutes or so. But right now we are in pre-show mode. So we're just chit-chatting right now with the chat. And boom, there we go. Now we got the little chat window popping up. And don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we'll find out. Here we go.
It's probably a bad thing.
It's probably a bad
Demonetized.
We'll see how it goes. Just keep it clean, folks, or I'll just change I won't have that view on there. Let's see here. Let's see what everyone's going for. Make the font bigger. How can I do that? Is that possible?
Just like Control Plus.
Let me
That
try.
work?
There we go. There we go.
No.
It did something. There we go.
It did something.
There we go.
Yeah.
Is it bigger now? Did you know? Did we talk about this? I think YouTube finally. I think we mentioned a little bit, but now they offer a very ultra low latency option with DVR, so you can get real time, almost real time chat. Now there's not a delay, so the video and the chat are kind of simultaneously happening at the same time, and you also have the DVR feature where people can go back in time and rewatch the video while it's live.
Oh.
So yeah, that wasn't possible before apparently, but now it is.
So it's always like a slight latency between the chat and the stream.
Yeah. So now I'm wondering how much the latency is now. So if I clap my hands, right? Let me know if you type in clap, I'll know how much the latency is. If I hit clap, and then you guys can also type in clap, I'll know what the latency is, or if anybody cares. So let's just try it. I didn't actually pick the lowest latency. I picked the one below that, the one that was slightly better. But okay.
There you go. That was like what, 30 seconds? 20 seconds?
Maybe like 20 seconds. I don't.
It's a 20-second.
Well, I think they can see it. So those of you in the chat, you can see the little chat window going. So
yeah,
when you see your stuff pop up, you can tell how long the delay is for us.
Yeah, that's the reason why we like ask you guys to start queuing up Q&A before we move on to the last topic. That just gives the chance for the questions to just pop up beforehand, rather than us asking for questions and then waiting for like a minute before our first question pops up.
Jimmy says that was a long time until it came up. My apologies. I'll try the other option for the ultra low latency, but it says it has issues with playback. So because we're like on a potato stream at times, it might slow down.
Yeah, you don't want us to be at 144p because then that'd be serious potato lie.
Let's see here. Beats by Endless says, what do you guys think about the Sony FE 85mm f1.8 for video making? I know it's definitely Jason's favorite. Well, at some point, one of his really nice Insta lenses.
It's still
Jason.
It's still. What is he's asking for video making, right?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, like 1.8 versus 1.4. We did a lot of tests on this already. The 1.8 always focuses a bit snappier and faster than the 1.4 lenses. So you're gonna love the 85 for video making. It's fantastic.
Where would you find yourself using it though, Jason, in a particular situation? The 85.
I like to use it for like, dramatic close-ups in slow motion. And then I also like to use it for talking head style interviews. Even during weddings, we like to have that isolation for our couple reacting to like the speech person. So we have a 7200 on the toast, the person giving the toast, and then the 85 on the couple. It's just really nice.
Okay. Let's see.
Tony Papa says Twitch low latency, 2 to 3 seconds. That's not bad.
That's pretty good, actually. I mean, 2 to 3 seconds off from what's going on. Let's see. Hazriaf 454. What do you think about the A6000 nowadays? Late 2018. Mostly we'll be taking pictures. If it's the camera that fits in your budget and you want to be with Sony, it's a perfect camera to start with, especially if you're doing just photos. I think it's a good starting point for you, if that's kind of where you want to be at. Jason,
it's still good for photos. I mean, we're still shooting with the 50. I was just shooting the 6000 with the video last week.
Okay.
It's tough, man. Definitely video quality is like, but photos, it's still great. I mean, like, you can't, still a 24 megapixel camera, still fantastic.
Yeah, I know there's this weird delay with my video and audio right now. It's because I'm using OBS. So if it bothers you, I could cut it off, but we're going to lose all the little things that are going on right now on the screen. I mean, if it doesn't bother you, just don't look at me directly while I'm talking. I think we'll be okay.
Don't make eye contact with Danny.
It's because the OBS, I have it set. So for those of you that are curious about live streaming, the Google Hangouts is using my OBS as a camera. So I cut the latency as much as possible between when it shows up, and that's as good as it's going to get. I did this last time, but it's weird. I'm getting a much worse delay than I did before. So,
I mean, if he doesn't use this OBS camera, we're not going to get that flashing sign that says, like this video.
You mean dislike this video? My God. Please don't do that. Yes, if you haven't had a
thumbs down.
If you haven't had a chance, you make sure you smash that like button, because we're not shameless at all trying to get some likes on this video.
We live for the likes on this YouTube.
Oh no. Oh God. Okay. There we go. And I have to manually do that. You know, Jason, I actually enabled, and by the way, the show is going to start soon in about 5 minutes or so, but I actually enabled that weird Streamlabs thing where they're supposed to pop up some weird things on the side of the screen, but it's not working. So I'm kind of sad. It's
or is it for a super chat donation? If they super
it
chat
does it, it's supposed to do it if someone subscribes. I can actually run a test. So just to let you know, this is just a test. If I click test subscriber, there we go.
Oh, whoa! It's a Pikachu.
It pops up, right? And then if someone does a super chat, it's supposed to pop up this.
Wow, that is some. Wait, that's from Twitch, right? It's like some sort of like it's designed for Twitch.
It can be used in any like live streaming tool. So OBS happens to be one of those that it interfaces with. So I'm using OBS to do it, but it's not working. So I don't know. It says I'm supposed to be logged in and signed in for it to work, and I am, unless I have, maybe it's just the wrong account. So I don't know. But
man, imagine if you have someone that super chat, like give us a super chat on this live stream. We'll be rating the G Master logo, just like raining.
All right,
or rating 400. It should be like little gifs of the 400 falling down from the screen.
Dion just dropped $5 in the chat. Nothing happened, but you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and play the little test widget for you just because you did it. Are you able to hear a sound or no?
I didn't hear a sound.
Jeez.
Okay, well, there's still some kinks that Danny has to work out, but damn, that's cool. Thank you so much, Dion. We appreciate the $5.
Yeah, take the money back, Dion, because it was just testing. Let's see. Chris Barr says there's a light growing from the back of my head. Let me dim it down a little bit here. There we go.
Oh, you getting fancy.
We could even change up the color here. Let's see. I don't know. Oh. I think you could even have, I could have sworn we could have had like super chats connect to like lights or smart objects in the room too. Let's see.
That's cool. So some super chat could be like a
strobing. Let's see. Tony Pappas says, have you considered just using OBS to stream directly to YouTube? You could screen capture Jason in. Have you had luck doing that, Tony? It's come across before, like the thought of doing that.
I feel like if you did that, I would be even more laggy.
That's what I was thinking.
We could try that if you guys don't mind. I mean, one of these days. But
yeah. Dave the Uber Slave says, copy the alert URLs from your Streamlabs account into your OBS software. I did. It is there, unless I'm supposed to activate it somewhere else. Let's see. Sony 24. It's only 2 lenses. I'm streaming tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to putting it on.
Tamron, yo.
Tamron.
Yeah, that versatility.
Okay. Yeah. All right, let's see here. Okay, we are getting onto the verge of our start time. Just hang tight there, folks. Don't forget, smash that like button if you haven't had a chance to.
Oh, speaking of Smash.
Oh, did you get it, Jason?
Hashtag new gear, Super Smash Bros.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait, don't jump ahead there, man.
Okay, all right. We'll talk about that. It is Smash Week.
I thought about getting it, but I just don't. I don't know. I feel like if I was going to get a game like that, I'd have to want to be fully invested in wanting to be competitive in gaming to want to put the time into it.
Man, you just play for fun.
You sure?
Come over so I can kick your butt.
Can't you play like by connecting over the internet or something? We could play on a live stream. You know, you play on one end and you kind of stream in the TV.
Yeah, could. We'll talk more about that later.
All right, folks, it is 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Welcome to Monday Live. Thank you for joining us on our crazy adventures on these shows, and greatly appreciate you guys joining us every Monday because we have so much to talk about and so much news around the corner. Obviously, you know I'm being somewhat sarcastic. I'm joined here by our wonderful co-host, Jason Vong, the one and only gas master who just came in not too long ago just to make it on time, flew on a big giant penguin and got here. Jason?
Yeah, what's up? Yep, back from my trip from Arizona over the weekend, and told Danny, I was like, I'm pretty sure I'll make it back in time. I was stuck in traffic. I was like, gosh, so many it's like traffic. It's pretty much traffic time around in LA. It's like 5 o'clock, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be late. Oh my god, I'm gonna be late. But hopped on, threw on the lights really quickly, making sure I get the bokeh balls in the back and ready to roll for you guys.
Was the little lights already there prior to the show starting, or you just quickly set it up and everything, or did you already have it?
We set this up like I think after our live show last week. I said I would do this, so Vivian went out to Target. She got me these lights, and we hung it up the next day, and it looks pretty flippin' sweet, man. I'm pretty close to Peter Gregg status with his Christmas room.
You need to go. What lens are you shooting with right now?
With the 40 bodice.
Oh, you got to go. You got to get a 1.2 lens, Jason. You got to blow the bokeh out.
Oh, seriously, get these balls rounder. You know what I'm saying? These tiny little balls right here.
The bokeh. Well, folks, as usual, our news lineup isn't as heavy, and our news/rumor lineup, it never usually is until we're going to hear a big giant camera drop, and that's unfortunately not around the corner for us. But we are going to talk a little bit about this firmware that was pulled from Sony to potentially correct the SD card problem. We'll talk about the rumors on the 7200 Tamron lens. We'll chime in a little bit on the Sigma 70-200. It's out for pre-order now. Also the Canon EOS-R. A rumor around the corner is that the next model will have IBIS. Is it too little too late for Canon on that? And is it even enough for them to bring that around the corner? And Jason and I will share a little bit about our experience with the Sigma 56 1.4. Had a little opportunity to shoot with it. Not done with reviewing it, though, but we can talk a little bit about that. So, as usual, we start off our show with our hashtag new gear. And while we're at it, if you haven't had a chance to do so, smash that like button, and we'd greatly appreciate it. So, we're going to go ahead and get the show started. Jason, our gas master, what have you recently picked up?
Hold on, I'm gonna smash that like button really quick. Okay, there we go. All right. What did I pick up? I picked up Super Smash Bros. Productivity is out the door right now, but I didn't really get a chance to play it over the weekend because we were in Arizona. Should I talk a little bit about that?
Go right for it, man.
Part of the show. Should I talk about it before the news, or should I just talk about it right now?
Let's do the new gear first, and then
new gear. Okay, well, we'll talk about Arizona, but Super Smash Brothers. These nice lights, these bokeh ball lights. I have the Sigma 105 1.4 in for testing. I haven't
Oh,
unboxed it yet, so that's kind of just sitting in the back right there. Oh, you know what? I remember now. I also got the 50 millimeter 1.8 OSS for the APS-C that came in last Thursday. So when I make my comparison with the 56 and the 51.8 sometime soon, hopefully, I have that lens ready now. But I'm pretty sure Danny right over there is gonna beat me to it.
I don't even know. Maybe at 2 o'clock in the morning. Really quick, Jason, you should switch over to the Sigma 105 and blow the background out, man, with the book.
I'm gonna have to like push that lens so far back. It's gonna be like in my kitchen.
Did you change positions from the last time though, as far as where you're positioned at right now?
Yeah, I think last week I shot more at an angle so you see my couch, but this time I'm shooting more straight on like how I used to. So yeah, that's because of how these lights are set up. I just want to be like boxed in. But I kind of wish we I would have a complete box, but that's not working out too well right now. So you only see like the strips, the lanes of like bokeh balls. But I'm still constantly changing and revamping the set. So hopefully by next year we'll have a better looking set for the live show and for the YouTube videos, of course.
Okay. All right. So if there's nothing else, I'll jump into some new gear. So
Yeah,
I finally had a chance to unbox and use my iPad,
this
the iPad
guy
Pro.
right here.
Very, very nice. Also got the Folio keyboard with that and the pen. So it's been very, very interesting. Jason, you should get one.
Shut up. I was just thinking on the plane earlier. I was like, man, it'd be nice to have a flipping iPad. This is
So I've been using it pretty heavily the last 4 days. I've been shooting and then transferring photos to the iPad Pro. It's been a very interesting journey to find a workflow that works. I've been searching online for methods that work with it. And I finally found a process that sort of works right now. I don't have it down completely. So, for example, over the weekend, I was shooting some soccer. And after I was done shooting one of the matches, I quickly started transferring files to the iPad Pro. While I was transferring, I was getting my camera ready, had another card ready. So I was multitasking, I was getting files loaded on here. But it is a really interesting experience having using the iPad Pro, interacting with images. Very different than using it on my computer. Because you're using both. I'm using both the keyboard, my hands, and the pen to kind of work with the images. And it's a very, very different experience. I feel it's a little slower, but it's a different engaging experience that I've ever had, culling through my images and editing my images on the iPad Pro versus on a computer like on Lightroom. So I've been using Lightroom CC. It's not without its bugs. It does crash every now and then, but it's been very interesting there. And Jason, I finally edited my first video on not a YouTube video per se, but a video that I worked on for the school on LumaFusion on the actual iPad.
Okay. So you
On
bought
the iPad.
LumaFusion.
What's that sound? Is there?
Oh, sorry, my water boiler's singing.
Okay, I got scared there for a second. I thought the super chats were coming in all of a sudden. Those sounds are coming through. I'm like, oh wow, there's this thing going on.
Sorry, I plugged in the water boiler when I got back, so every time it's like done boiling, it would sing you a little song. It's like it's one of those Asian water boilers.
So I used LumaFusion to edit a 4K video, about 10 minutes long, and it did a really good job. It actually held up just fine. Didn't have any issues with the 4K. I was able to export it in 4K. I was very, very impressed. It took a while to get the edit done, a bit longer than I normally would expect on a computer, but it was doable. It actually worked, and it was a very interesting process learning how LumaFusion works. Granted, I don't use Final Cut Pro, so learning and using it was kind of an interesting take. So, yeah, Jason, have you had a chance to go ahead and use LumaFusion?
No, I was going to ask you, did you try Rush? I have not got a chance to use LumaFusion before.
I thought about using Rush a little bit. I did play around with the whole setup and everything, but for those of you that have had a chance to use LumaFusion, it feels like a fully fledged video editing program. You can do most of the things that you need on it. And I think I'm going to try to edit, another video or two using LumaFusion and see how it goes. But one of the biggest issues is just getting the video files onto the actual iPad. Because with Sony cameras, you have to set it up a certain way. I didn't get a chance to test it out yet, but I had to like wirelessly transfer the files from my laptop to my iPad Pro to get the video on there, which is a little bit frustrating. But they do say there, some folks figure out a way to sort of work it out where you can import directly with the USB cable if you set some settings up in the camera. So I'll give it a shot and try it out. But it's just been very interesting. It's a very interesting process. Still testing it out. Just very curious. I think if you're planning to use the iPad Pro as kind of a main device, you definitely need the keyboard and the pen. Everyone's kind of already said that already. So, but yeah, that's it right now in terms of stuff.
Nice. Making me jealous with the iPad.
You had one at some point.
Yeah,
so are
well,
you
they
still
came out
on...
with a new one, so I'm just like, I kind of want the new one now.
Well, maybe later on. Maybe we'll get some discounts.
Some Christmas discounts.
All right, let's see here.
Cool.
Okay, let's see new gear.
New gear. Okay. Dion Chapman, MSI GP73 Leopard 8RD laptop, because my old laptop died. It has 6-core i7, a 4K display port for my 4K monitor. That is sweet.
That's great. What GPU does it have? Is it an Intel? Is it an NVIDIA or an AMD card in there? Joshua, as I think you mentioned earlier, new gear, Sony 85f1.8 and an MC11 adapter.
Very nice. Philip Tindrell, hashtag new gear, pair of 8200 light stand softboxes, and the 85G Master.
Just the 85G Master, yeah. Jason. Just the 85.
You know, just that little thing, just on top of the cherry of the ice cream cake or whatever.
Very, very nice, Phil. Very nice. Scott's review, new gear, pre-ordered the DJI Pocket.
Nice.
Hot Pocket. There's a DJI Pocket? You're talking about the Osmo, right?
Yeah, I think it's the Osmo Pocket, yeah.
Okay, I was like, there's another product I don't even know about.
So many products, we can't keep up with them, man. Alex, hashtag new gear 35 1.8 with the Makey macro extension tubes. Very nice.
Oh, nice. Let's see here. Willie is saying really like using the GoPro 7 Black. Jean-Louis Imperial, new gear 18-inch LED ring light and a convertible laptop backpack.
Nice.
Convertible laptop backpack.
I'm just thinking about like a car with the hood and everything. This is like a backpack that can just like
open. This is open the other way.
That's pretty cool. Michael Mistro Pierce, hashtag new gear, Fuge Tascam DR10X, and a sound device Mix Pre 6M. Damn, Michael with those advanced audio gear.
Andrew Williams, new gear finally switched from Canon to Sony. The Alpha 6500, Sigma 16, Sony 50. Andrew says, so happy I did.
Congratulations. Pedro, hashtag new gear, Aero 15X for Black Friday, 500 off after rebates. Danny, did you clean and stop before using it? Any issues or updates on yours?
You know, Pedro, I never did a clean install. I am using it right now on the stream to do all this stuff. Have I had issues with it? Yes. I've had to do the updates that there's a software tool that does updates on the firmware or the BIOS. You do need that to make sure you get the latest updates, especially with the keyboard, everything else to make it run smoothly. But I didn't do a clean update. I might do it later on when I have a lot more free time to make sure I don't have any issues. PhotoMiag chiming in on the LumaFusion says it's a legit mobile editor. Definitely agree on that one after using it. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Bar Parildar. Sorry, man. Says WD Wireless Pro plus LumaFusion is the best for video file transfer. They work amazing together. I was actually looking at that earlier. I was thinking about picking one up. Did you get the SSD version or the non-SSD version? Just curious to know. But I was worried about just transferring file speeds like between video. I heard it's not that good.
Vincent Vega, hashtag new gear A73 and Sony Pro Support membership. Man, Vince, you don't need that Pro Support membership. You can fix your own camera.
Vincent, are you able to share your news about Sony Pro Support? Let us know. Let's see here. Fathom Rocker 2019 iPad Pro is able to run the full version of Photoshop when it does come out. Cool.
John Lee, hashtag new gear props for DJI Mavic because I crashed my drone into a satellite dish. Props for, okay, I thought you meant props too. But cool, awesome.
I thought so too. I thought he was saying like props to DJI for like fixing my problem, but I guess not.
Yeah.
Let's see. Studio 413 Colorado got it the Tamron 28-70. Wait, 28-70? I'm just gonna say that. I'm not quite sure if that's the right one.
I think he meant 2875. So did Aaron Hill. He got the Tamron as well. Javier De La Rosa, hashtag new gear, Dell XPS 15. And all that good jazz.
Wow. Jason, have you seen the new there's like another Razer laptop, their Stealth series.
Yeah.
They updated it with the M150X, I think, NVIDIA. So it's like a really small, compact, portable Windows laptop now with the decent graphics cards. So you can do some editing with it, like with Premiere. But man, that's good. I'm just glad things are moving forward with the technology.
I just want to go back to Mac. I was like, what? Huh? Well,
that's
Charles Gwen. Oh dear, I am making movies with my G7 and it covers my needs for now. So familiar with it, but I'm gonna need an upgrade soon.
That's right. That's right.
There you go.
Robert Garcia Magdaleno just picked up a Sigma 35 Arts and a new Pelican case for all my new gear. Nice.
Robert McDaniel, hashtag new gear, Zeiss Bodice, back ordered. Sony 24G Master, back ordered. Bummed. 2 of the hottest lenses in December, man.
Robert McDaniel, new gear, Zeiss Bodice 40 and the Sony. Oh, did I already read that? You said that already. Yeah. Sam Kong, new gear, Gitzo Traveler tripod. Doug Seedsettle, new gear, Sigma 105 Art. Nice. I'm assuming that's the FE model that you got. Fathom Rocker, Red Dead Redemption 2.
That's Super Smash Brothers. I'm playing after this. Relax and make more content tomorrow.
Let's see. Bar Latar's following up says he got the non-SSD version. Okay, cool. That's exactly what I saw there. All right. We'll do a couple more there. Jason, can you get the last couple of ones there?
Sure. Zaifu, hashtag new gear, upgraded from the 6000. Got the Sigma 16 1.4 to, upgraded from the 6000 with the 16 to the 7 Mark III with the 1635G Master. Will be arriving this week. Excited? Chopsticks, hashtag new gear, got the A7 III with cheap glass, 51.8 FE. Not as horrible as I thought it would be. And Graphic Mail, hashtag new gear, picked up the M.2 1TB SSD to help with video editing. Very small and very fast.
That is awesome, man. Those things are crazy. Bob Costco, new gear, Sigma 31.4, JPH Creative, Sigma 56 1.4, TUI Alai Lima, new gear 18105, the 18105 F4.
Louis G, Jumbo Jack plus 2 toggles. That sounds so good right now.
My student, Luis, recommended it to me and I tried it. And so it's been an ongoing joke lately. So make sure if you haven't had a chance, get a Jumbo Jack, 2 tacos. Put the taco inside the Jumbo Jack. That's what he says. You should
put it inside the what?
The Jumbo Jack. Put it inside the Jumbo Jack.
I'll make more ideas. I love Jack in the Box tacos. They're the worst tacos I've ever eaten, but they're the best. I don't know how to even explain it. The best dollar tacos you can get. 2 for 1 deal, man. It's crazy.
Michael Misha is asking if you can wear your Santa hat, Jason.
I need to find my Santa hat. I don't even know where I put my Santa hat. I lost it somewhere.
Matt says just bought an A7 III and a 16-35G Master. So hyped, and I also got the Polar Pro quartz line filter.
Cool. Awesome. Fathom Rocker, Jack in the Box tacos with ranch for the win. I'm gonna need to try that.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into the show. Jason, before we get into the news topics, you already shared already, right? You were out and about.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much. I mean, I'll probably go into more details about our little Arizona trip, but I was out there with a few other content creators, Ted Forbes from Astro-photography, Chris Howe, Stan Moniz, Steve Huff as well. We were out there doing a little bit of astrophotography as a little get together for all of us to do a little bit of astrophotography out in Sedona, Arizona, doing it with the 24G Master. And Oh, it was amazing, Danny. You know, like we have a lot of people asking you and me in particular about how some of these lenses do in astrophotography, and I've learned so much over the weekend. It is insane, like what to look out for. And the thing is, I've never shot stars before, so we were out there with an astronomer as well. So it's just like, you know, he was pointing out at like, you know, what is the Milky Way, what is the Gemini, what is uh, um, um, the Orion, because like I walked out there the first night. I was like, I don't even know what I was looking at. I was just like pointing at like random twinkling stars, and they're like, bro, you were pointing the wrong way. So, you know, getting that kind of insight really is really going to help me put together my reviews for future wide angle lenses, because we always get asked, you know, what's up with these lenses? How do they perform in astrophotography? So we learned a lot of interesting things, especially Ted Forbes, who will be having his own video comparing different lenses for Astro, the 24G Master and some of the Zeiss Otis lenses, I believe, and even the Sigma 24 1.4. And the G Master outperformed all of those lenses at 1.4. It's just, it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good that you're getting some background in that.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I've been wanting to shoot Astro for a while now. I think it's addicting, Danny. I mean, like one of these days, you and I have to go out to a Joshua Tree or something and shoot some stars, because it's pretty damn addicting. It's nice.
Okay, will do. All right, we're going to go ahead and dive into our news topics here. Our first one has to do with, I think, our potential little friend here, this SD card, which you probably won't even be able to see there. It's the 100. It's too dark there. But yeah, I think it has to do with an SD card. So there was a firmware update for the A7 Mark III as well as the A7R3. And I do apologize. Let me go ahead and jump right back. There we go. We're back onto the live chat window there. And if you haven't had a chance to smash that like button, because that's all we ever live for. Okay, so with that out of the way, so we're talking about this firmware fix. But so yeah, there was a 2.0 firmware that was released. Jason, did you even get a chance to update your cameras to the 2.0 firmware?
I think, you know what? I think so. I not my R3. I think my R3 I kept it whatever it was, but both my 7.3s I upgraded to the firmware 2.0.
I could have sworn I did the update. Or was it pretty recent when that update came out? I don't recall exactly, but
it had to have been like a month at least for that update now. That 2.0 update.
Yeah, because I checked my cameras. I thought it was updated to that latest one, but it wasn't there. So I didn't have the updates for that. So I'm still like on the 1.1 version. Let me know in the comments or in the live chat if you had a chance to actually go ahead and do the update. But I don't have it. So, but as far as like what that update did before they went ahead and pulled it down, it actually added compatibility and support to the 400 2.8 as well as the 24 f1.4. Did some custom key settings with the AF track sensitivity, so you can adjust it with that. There was some stability improvements. There was improvements in the management of group shots. Now, I didn't get a chance to test those things out because, well, I didn't get to update, so I'm just curious to see if anyone else had the chance to do that. However, the main point about all of this falls in here. There was a post here. I think I grabbed this little thing from DP Review, but it's also posted on Sony Alpha Rumors that on the Sony UK website, Sony explains why the firmware was pulled in the first place. Number one, it says, in rare cases, your A7R3 or A7 III model may stop functioning while writing raw data onto an SD card that has already been used multiple times, which, Jason, I think we've all used our SD cards multiple times at this point, right, Jason?
Yeah,
So,
totally.
that would be a very, very concerning situation for us. And then with the A7R3, if you take pictures using the auto review function, which I think a lot of people would technically do, especially doing portraits potentially, occasionally cause the camera to stop responding. So I'm just curious to know if anyone's dealt with that issue with this particular firmware, if they did go ahead and roll out to that newer firmware. But that is the reasoning as to why they pulled it. And we don't expect to see a rolled out firmware update. They said roughly mid-December. So maybe within a week to address that.
Okay, that's pretty quick.
So there you go. Let's just see really quick. Did anyone even have a chance to do that?
And I just want to add really quickly. I think at some point I did see like an article talking about that firmware update also unlocked some of the autofocus features when you adapt lenses, right? Like if you use the meta bones, you can start using zone autofocus, because before that you couldn't use zone focusing with adapted Canon lenses on your meta bones. And I think with that I'm sorry, I was gonna say F2.0, firmware 2.0, it unlocks that on the camera, so you can use zone focusing. But correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, now I'm kind of bummed that I didn't get the 2.0 update. I was wondering if it improved the Sigma MC11 performance with the Sigma lenses, because I was shooting with the Sigma 12300 again, and the performance was good, but I'm wondering if it could be even better.
Yeah.
So Michael Mistro is saying hasn't had any issues with it. Let's see. Vincent Vega says that he has the update, and if you're getting the glitch, just be sure that you're formatting the card before you start shooting, and make sure your auto playback review is off. Okay. PK saying has issues a lot with the A7R3. Let's see. Raymond Knack had the update. No issues so far. It did help the MC11 a little based on Raymond's experience with it. And Graphic Mill, no issues as well with the format.
Yeah, I so far haven't had issues with both my A7 IIIs. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot you have two A7 IIIs.
Oh, yeah. 2 7 3s. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right. You flex on them.
One A7 III, two A7 III. Oh, anyways.
Okay, well, there you go. Hopefully the update comes around soon, and we can all be I guess I'll be a guinea pig when that comes around. If I do notice it, I'll do an update for it. So speaking of compatibility issues and stuff with lenses, Tamron has posted on Sony Off Rumors with an SR3 rumor around the corner that they're rumored to launch the 70-200 f2.8 Sony E-mount lens for full frame, obviously in Q1, which is within January, February, March timeframe of next year. And for a lot of folks who really like the Tamron 20-75, I'm sure everyone will be very happy to see another alternate option to the very, very pricey 70-200 f2.8 Sony G Master f2.8. So I'm very interested to see how well that comes around the corner. Jason, your thoughts on this Tamron?
I'm hoping it's a home run, dude. Like the 20-75, I'm hoping it's a home run.
Yeah, I'm curious whether they're going to use a similar optical formula. Is it going to be the same size? Because I was thinking it wasn't going to be a 70-200. It was going to be maybe like something different. You know what I mean? Like an 80-200 or something a little more.
Well, yeah, totally.
So I'm just curious to see if they're going to be able to keep up that whole lightweight setup with that particular lens, like the Tamron 20-75. I wouldn't mind losing a little bit here and there, or gaining here and there with the reach if it was going to reduce the overall size. But hey, a 70-200 is nothing to complain about if they can throw it at a much more effective price.
And I think it's smart of Tamron to be one of the first ones to have an alternate 70-200 for Sony users.
Right. And speaking of that, with the 70-200 Sport from Sigma, they don't yet have a native FE version of that lens. And I don't think we're going to see any native lenses at this time anytime soon, technically, with regards to Sigma. Hopefully within 2019 or Q1 of 2019. But right now, they do not have an FE model at all, I don't think. Jason, am I wrong on that? The zoom lenses don't have FE alternatives. They don't. 18-35 doesn't have one. The Sigma 50-100 doesn't have one.
No, none. None of them.
None. Their main, I think it just has to do with just overall performance.
I mean,
but that's
hopefully I'm hoping they're gonna work on it. But if they're cranking out their own glass for their own mount later,
that's true.
Might slow them down.
Definitely. There's a lot of mounts they're working on. But that's the reason why I'm really excited, though. The 70-200. So speaking about the 70-200 Tamron, we have the Sigma 70-200 f2.8 Sport that just went on pre-order. And I was kind of, I don't know about your thoughts, Jason. So the price on the Sigma 70-200 Sport came out at $14.99.
Okay.
Your thoughts on that? Were you expecting it around that price or a little bit lower? Your thoughts?
I think this is a 7200
Right.
f2.8
Yes, f2.8.
constant. Wow, that's pretty good.
And I think it has stabilization too. So it's an OS, an optical stabilize.
I mean, you're comparing this is, but obviously this is like what for Canon and Nikon mount.
This is Canon and Nikon, and I guess maybe their own Sigma mount. I think they still make it for. I mean, they got to support it some
That's still
way.
pretty good. 1499 for a 7200. I don't know about you. What do you think?
I was kind of thinking it was going to be a little lower, maybe 12.99, but I was
Okay.
just I was way too hopeful because their old 7200 f2.8. It's it's not a sports series one. It's not part of their newer lineup. It can be had for about $1,100 or so, roughly
Okay.
retail. So that's why I thought. But then again, it is a newer structure, newer build. They're going for the sports series line, so hopefully has a newer compatibility. Obviously, it's going to be compatible with the MC11 adapter, and I am very interested to try this out. So I'll probably do a rental via Lens Rental to get my hands on it. I thought about doing a pre-order, but I mean, there's no reason for me. So I'll definitely try and get a rental on it and do some tests and see how well it performs, because I'm fairly happy with the 120 to 300 zoom sports lens. And I know some of you have used the MC11 with some of these telephoto zoom lenses from Sigma, and they tend to work just fine. And the recent updates from the Sigma MC11 adapter have made the compatibility even better with the Sony cameras. So if you're getting pretty decent performance, because Jason, if you think about it, the Sony is almost $2,600,
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, so we were
right?
saying 1499 for this lens. I was like, well, it's in comparison to like a $2,600 lens, sounds not
Yeah.
bad. Not bad at all.
Granted, you got to add the MC11 adapter, and if you did some arbitraging, you might have got it for cheaper. But
50 bucks.
yeah, 149 or so was the selling price, sales price. But we did get some super chats. Let's go ahead and read them off right now. So Steve Pritchard dropping $10 on us on our super chatter. I can't afford all lenses you guys talk about, but I'm still trying to take good picks with the lenses I have. Thanks for all the great knowledge and info, Steve. Thank you. Thank
Keep
you for
on
the
doing
$10.
it. Just keep using what you got until you feel like you
Right.
need to get another thing that helps take you to the next level.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where it keeps shooting until you start realizing where it weakens, where the weak points are, and what can help you. And then $20 dropped by Matt Gray. Thanks for keeping me company while I work, gentlemen.
You're welcome.
You are welcome, Matt Gray. I'm glad we can provide this show to you every Monday. And thank you for reminding us, Matt Gray. If you haven't had a chance to smash that like button, drop a like, because if no one does, who will? So help support our ever-growing podcast.
We got
The only
another one too, Danny. I don't know if you'll see it on
shoot.
yours.
There
Yeah.
was another one. Where was
Yeah,
it? Go ahead, Jake.
there's
Read it
two
off.
more. One from Efrain Sueldo. He dropped $2. There's no message. Actually, there's a message that came afterwards.
Okay.
I have similar or better photos. I have similar or better photos using a Sigma 150 to 600 and an expensive combo Sony 100 to 400 plus 1.4 teleconverter. Any comments about the Sony A9 with Sigma F4 Sports? Almost 15 FPS is crazy.
So if any comments about the A9 with the Sigma F4 for sports? I really like it. So here's what I deal with. So I shoot a lot of low light kind of sports shooting scenarios, because high school sports typically happen towards the evening for me, and it's pretty low light. And I use my Sony 100 to 400, which I absolutely love for daytime sports. It's a phenomenal lens, incredible reach, but I don't have the funds to get a 400 2.8 at this time. So to get around that, I use the Sigma 120 to 300, and I think it does deliver about 10 to 15 frames per second on the A9, and it does a really good job. Now, the performance isn't quite like a native Sony lens, but the recent Sigma MC11 updates sped it up to the point where it's actually much faster on the attack speed. The shutter button press, it attacks much faster now than it did before. So plenty happy with it. When the lights go down, I switch over. So I use a Sony 100-400 when the day's still out. As soon as the lights go down, switch over the 120-300. Been working out really well. So
I'm not gonna lie, Danny. I'm kind of eyeing that 100 to 400 now. Never thought I need it, but damn.
don't do it. Don't do it.
I don't know, these sharp lens, sweet,
It
super versatile.
just go to the 400 2.8.
Oh, no.
We gotta. Was there another super chat?
Yeah, coming from
Alex.
Alex Sasikaran with this DKK 17. I don't know what kind of currency that is. Oh, it's a Denmark currency.
Okay.
4:29 p.m. in Denmark right now, but this beats sleep. Haha. Thanks, Alex.
Nice.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us, man. Appreciate it.
DKK. That's the first time I got that.
It is. It is definitely the first time. That's awesome. Okay. Anything in the chat that you noticed that you saw?
Let's see. Let's take a look. Pedro says he can't wait for that 70 to 200.
From Tamron, I'm assuming. Tamron. Photo Miak says 80 to 200 makes sense for a smaller size, similar to the older Nikons. I do remember that, and I even think Canon had something like that.
Yeah,
Nick Lawrenson.
I wouldn't mind if it's an 80 to 200 because the 75 from that 20 to 75 is already so close.
Yeah, I mean, I think if they can keep it a lightweight, shave off some grams on there, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be a good way to go.
Yeah.
Nick Lawrence, hello, camera guy. It's been a while. Waiting for the A7R2. Too bad I can't keep up with the latest. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
A7R2 is still great. Patrick Olivrio, I wish Sigma could do an FE 120 to 300.
I would say too, Patrick. Here's the thing, though. Yes, it'd be nice if the mount was consistent, but I think versus the FE and a Sigma MC11 adapter version, I think the only difference you'll see is that the FE will be much quieter. But assuming you're going to be shooting a lot in sporting environments, I'm just assuming here. I don't think the noise will be too big of an issue. So that was just my experience messing with both an FE and a MC11 adapted version from a Canon mount. So. I mean, if you need it, they go pretty good for secondhand lenses right now in terms of pricing if you can catch it.
Per Anderson, I hope Tamron have a teleconverter support for the 7200. I mean, you would be able to still use a Sony teleconverter, right? In theory.
No, I don't think so.
Like you don't think you can't take like a third party FE lens.
I feel as though that lens and the adapter are built in such a way because of the size of the mount and everything that it's just not going to work on a different lens. Like, for example, the teleconverters don't work on the 7200 f4.
Oh,
they don't.
I never knew that.
It only works on the 7200 G Master, the 100-400 G Master, the 400 2.8, and I think on one of those weird obscure 18 to 125 or 135 cinema style zoom lenses. I think they have. So it's very, very only a few lenses can use.
That's odd.
Let's see. Steve Pritchard is dropping some more money for us. He's asking, do you guys download to Lightroom every night or do you wait till you fill a card?
I offload after every project. So
what I usually do, my workflow is I transfer it to, well, if I'm good about it, I transfer it. I don't actually import straight into Lightroom. I always transfer the whole cards, all the files to the drive, to my RAID. And then I go through the rename in Bridge, and then I import into Lightroom. Well, I call through my images with Photo Mechanic, then I import into Lightroom, since I shoot a lot of photos with sports.
Cool. Awesome.
All right. Okay.
Let's move on.
All right, let's just hammer out a few more things, and we'll get to Q&A very soon here. All right, off-brand news here. Canon EOS-R CR2 rumor. I picked this little morsel here from Canon Rumors that the Canon EOS-R, the next one they release, is going to have in-body image stabilization. Now, if you don't know, the Nikon Z6 and Z7, as well as the recent Sony cameras now, all utilize in-body image stabilization. Now, there's some arguments that the implementation is a little bit better on the other systems over Sony, but it looks like Canon might be listening finally to their customers about incorporating IBIS into their next EOS-R. But I'm just curious, Jason, do you think that's all they have to do, or it's just too little too late, you think, in terms of it?
I don't think it's too little too late. I mean, like, it's what we were talking about back when the EOS-R came out and how some of us are super disappointed in it. But I'm just thinking, they're putting themselves out in the market right now with the mirrorless camera. That next one is just going to be better because of this enormous amount of feedback is just pouring in about having in-body image stabilization. Because I felt like that's something that they could at least put in, considering how mirrorless cameras all now have pretty flippin' amazing in-body image stabilization. Not having it in your camera is kind of a crime, But that next one coming in, I don't really think it's too little too late. I think like they're gonna consistently add the things that we're kind of asking for, but in terms of delivering the full package, I don't know.
I think, as you know, I'm all for competition, and I think most of you are all in the same kind of same kind of viewpoint on that. Is that you want these other manufacturers to step it up as well. And people gave Canon a hard time on their camera, and I used the EOS-R. I liked some aspects of the camera, but I was still always reaching for my Sony A7 III, A7R3, Jason. It was just one of those things where like you're using it and you're just like, it's slow to focus. It has a very low burst, and it just bothered you. There's just great things about it, but there's some aspects of it. So I think it still needs to correct the crop factor problem on their darn camera. They have a pretty steep crop factor on the 4K side of things.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of folks want that dual card slot option. So that was a criticism also on the Nikon side as well. So, if they bring out this next camera, I think people want to see a solution to the crop factor situation to make it a much more comparable camera to what making the Nikon Z6 is offering. Because that one doesn't have a really bad crop, I think, on that one, but the Canon does.
I mean, they're all going to catch up. That's the thing.
Yeah. Be very interesting, though. So we'll see. Let's see here. I thought we were getting some crazy CR rumors on here. Chris K was saying Canon announced their pro level camera, but I don't think that just happened.
Only $5,000.
Mr. Crafty Trucker, Canon, too little, too late. Photo Miike saying the crop is deep, might as well be micro 4/3. Ooh, what a burn! What a burn!
Cool.
Michael Mishra says, "Newsflash: Photo Miike moves to Sony in the next video. Tune in." Oh boy. Okay, and finally we're going to wrap it up talking a little bit about experience with the Sigma 56 f1.4. I haven't had a chance to do my side-by-side test. I was looking to go ahead and do it. I've just been caught up with some stuff. I did go ahead and shoot with the 56 1.4. I shot with the A6000 as well as the A7 Mark III. I shot some basketball with it, some high school basketball. Performance, very, very good. Very good. I didn't see a difference between me using I felt the Zeiss 55 or the Sony 50 f1.8. I thought the autofocus was very speedy and snappy, worked really, really well. And Jason, it's really interesting if you get it, you can use the Sigma 56 1.4 on a full frame at f1.4. I mean, it's not that bad. You just got to crop a little bit, but I mean, it works. It's crazy.
It's just like a little bit of vignetting, right? Just a little bit.
Only at f1.4, okay? Once you stop it down like 2.8, f4, you're gonna see a noticeable circle, a vignetting circle on there.
Okay, all right.
So at 1.4, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. You can work around it. And I was using A6000 with it, worked really well. Then I jumped over the A7 III using it. It was so snappy. The autofocus, man, that A7 III, man, I'm telling you, it's just snappy. Autofocus speed, and I was just blown away by its performance. So good stuff so far. I don't know if there's chromatic aberration I'm noticing on. That's pretty typical though. If you're shooting at 1.4, I'm noticing it on the highlights, bright areas. There's some chromatic aberration. I don't know if you've seen some of that, Jason.
I haven't really pixel peeped too much, but my experience using it, for photos, it is great. It is a mini 85 in my opinion. I think it's such a great portrait lens. I've shot quite extensively with it when we were out in Sedona, Arizona. In terms of video, though, I still have to look over the footage, but I think with the 56 at 1.4, trying to shoot like a talking head style at 1.4, it kind of pulse a little bit too much. I still have to go through and look through the footage, so I can't say that for sure. But from the little tiny LCD screen I was looking through for the 6500, I did notice it kind of like going back and forth. But that's kind of expected if you're shooting such a shallow depth of field with a moving subject and talking, rocking back and forth. So we'll see. I'll have to look through it first before giving any sort of conclusive thought on that. But have you noticed something like that when you're shooting video with a 56, Danny?
No, I was shooting movement, athletes moving back and forth. It did fine. I didn't notice any major issues. It was keeping up with the subject.
Yeah.
So in that kind of environment, worked fine for what I noticed. But Jason could be on the ball with some things, maybe with talking head. You got to dial in some settings potentially, but you got to keep in mind. So about how that's going to work out. So I'm just curious to see. I'm still going to run some tests. I'd like to do a side-by-side test if I can with the 51.8 OSS. But
yeah, solid. It's pretty solid. 56 1.4, solid.
Yeah.
I actually use a 16 1.4 quite a lot when I was in Arizona for vlogging and for Astro. That lens is a winner. It's a winner, dude.
I know. It's a really nice lens. Chicken winner dinner chicken.
Chicken dinner winner.
All right, we just got another super chat from Travis Morrison McKell. Have either of you used DaVinci Resolve for video editing? Travis, I have installed it at some point. I have tried to edit something for about 10 minutes and I gave up too quickly. I shouldn't have though. I did like way back when try to color grade something though, but in all seriousness, I did try to learn how to do the nodes and everything, but I just really have to spend time to learn to use the new system, but I just never got around to it, Travis. Jason?
Same here. I mean, well, I hadn't even downloaded it yet, but I just haven't got a chance to play around with it. But from, Dave Dugdale, I think he uses it and he loves it. And Max Ura, he's been running a lot of tests, and every time I watch his tests, that DaVinci performance gets better and better and better and better and better, almost surpassing Premiere Pro on a MacBook Pro, especially. It's crazy. So.
Yeah, I've even thought about it to maybe change it up because, like I said, at my school we use Adobe Premiere Pro. We use the Adobe stuff, but there's a fee. If you want to use Adobe Premiere Pro, you got to buy the apps. And DaVinci Resolve, there's a free light version, and I've always considered it so that the students could actually get a copy of a video editor and actually learn how to use it. So I'm not out of the loop to take a look at it, but right now I just haven't spent enough time with it.
Yeah.
So. All right. So I think we are on the Q&A section, Jason. So folks, let me go ahead and do a little switcheroo here on this. Boom, there we go. Q&A. We're getting ready for that. And then let me go ahead and remind everyone to smash that like button, please. Would greatly appreciate it. Or if you haven't had a chance to do so. All right. So Q&A. Here we go.
I see one already.
All right, go for it.
Eli, QA, any rumors on an RX 10.5? I love my 4, but I would love to see what Sony can do in the next generation. Unfortunately, I have not heard anything about an RX 10.5 yet.
I did use the RX 10 Mark IV, shot some football with it. Really liked it, but the limitation is that sensor size. For daytime stuff, I think it's a great option for daytime stuff. It's like a mini A9, but a small sensor, and it has a built-in lens. What would I like to see Sony can do next generation? Use a micro four thirds sensor on the RX 10 Mark V. Then we can start talking.
Micro four thirds is not dead.
Maybe if they jump to the micro four thirds in those sensor in that camera system, I wouldn't mind them going back to because the lens went from like 24 to 200, Jason, and then their newer series, the Mark III and the Mark IV, went up to 24 to 600.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing 24 to 200 back, but with a micro four thirds sensor, I'd like to see the performance improve on that.
Okay, all right.
That's my prediction. That's what I would like to see. Plus a flip out screen as usual, but that would be very, very interesting to see how that happen. Then again, someone's going to say in the chat that Panasonic already has something like that. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I just don't follow Panasonic well enough. So.
Yep. JPH Creative, any further thoughts on the Sigma Contemporary lens case? Is it worth getting? I haven't seen it yet on sale. I mean, you don't need it, but from what I've heard, it was a sort of a Japan or maybe Asia exclusive, where the first 100 people pre-ordering the lens, they will get the Sigma Contemporary case. They haven't done that kind of promotion here in the US. I think their marketing guy told me that they might, but there's no concrete plans just yet. So until they have some sort of news about that, we'll let you guys know.
Yeah, that is interesting though. I do remember that little pouch with the space for all three. But hopefully that doesn't mean Sigma won't release any more of those lenses. Hopefully it's not an end to that.
No, I'm hoping for like a wide, like a 12 millimeter.
Let's see here. David Vaney. Either one of you guys going to review the Sigma E-mount version lenses of the 105 f1.4? I think Jason is on the case on that one.
I don't know if I'm going to do like a full-blown review, but probably throw on a few test videos for the 105 1.4. Yeah.
I mean, I was pleasantly happy with the 105 1.4, but I was using the Canon version with the MC11 adapter. The autofocus was fine. It worked really well. For me, it was just the focal length was just odd for me. It is very particular. Like if you're going to use it for portraits, that's kind of where it would shine. I mean, you could use it almost in any case, but for what I was shooting, there's always times where the criticism I had about that lens was it always felt as if I needed either more reach or it was too wide in certain cases. Or sorry, it was either too zoomed in or not zoomed in enough. It was never the right focal length for me in certain situations. But I know I wasn't using it primarily. I wasn't using it in the portrait situation though.
I mean, if you need like a portrait sample or review, Manny Ortiz already have some on his channel. So,
but they want it from you, Jason.
Okay, well, yeah, totally. So, do what I do.
Jeremy Chang, QA. What do you think of the 1635 f2.8 versus the f4? Jason, what do you think?
I've had both. I love the 2.8 a little bit more.
Now, for the most part, all the Sony bodies have in-body image stabilization, but the f4 does have stabilization if you need that. I think the argument there would be if you know you're dealing with low light quite a bit more often, the f2.8 makes more sense if you're shooting a lot more pro environments or environments where you know you need more light. F4 works pretty well for me though. So it just depends on what you need it for.
Very nice. Manuel, would you recommend getting a 6500 or wait for a little bit more of a possible update? If you can wait, you can wait.
We never know, man. I'm so sorry.
That's the thing. We don't know. We don't know when or where or how or what it is. Nothing is even concrete about the next iteration. But if you need it, 6500.
I mean, every day that passes, Manuel, we get closer to another camera release, though. It just sucks. We just don't know when. I mean, I'm so sorry. It's just, yeah. Adela Hardy, A9 still selling for $34.99. I think this will last. Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe till the end of the winter. Maybe until
they'll hop back onto its regular price, but then coming back down to a $3,500 price tag soon after. So,
Chris K would love to see an RX10 Mark V. Whoa.
What happened?
They had an APS-C sensor. Even if they had to drop the lens back to the 24-200, maybe throw in an ND filter again. Man, if they did a 24-200 on an APS-C sensor size, that I feel like it would be a massive camera. But hey, who knows? Be awesome.
Dream.
Yeah.
I can dream. Taka sub K201. What would you suggest for a budget prime landscape lens for the Sony FE? That's a tough question to answer. Budget? What's the budget?
Is it Sony? What about the Sony 28 f2?
Oh, yeah.
Is that even an option?
Yeah.
Yeah, the budget's important because I mean, if the budget's like 500 or under, then it kind of limits.
Yeah,
some
what's your
choices.
budget? Let us know. But that 20 to f2, Danny, I heard something really interesting about that lens. Surprisingly, really good for Astro at f2. Pretty
It's good to
insane.
know.
Steve P. Richard, QA, newbie Steve here. Should I sell my A6300 and of course keep just the 7R Mark III? If you have no use for the 6300, definitely sell it.
Yeah, if you're not finding it being used much. Chopsticks Q&A, favorite creative outlet that isn't photography related?
Oh, good question.
Yeah.
We need to get out more. Way to hit us with reality that we're just nothing but poor people on the internet creating content about photography. No lives.
I mean, here's the thing though, and I think Jason can relate a little bit too. It's kind of like an exhaustive burnout on photography or video related content.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like you get overexposed to things, and eventually you just don't want to. You want to detach. Like I'm not always watching camera related stuff. I'm watching like tech stuff that's not related to camera related stuff. It's just because I'm so burnt out with all this content all the time. Not that I don't want to watch the people's content. It's just like I know more about it than I should already at this point, and I just watch other things that are tech related or gaming related. I don't know. There you go.
And playing Super Smash Brothers. Anyways, Eli, I got a grain or so sand under my RX-10 for focus ring. Not a deal breaker, but I would like to get it out. Any DIY of removing debris from underneath the lens ring?
Jason, you just disappeared. Did the camera die?
Did I die? Am I still? Was my voice still there?
We can still hear you. Do not disappear. You're still there. We can still hear you, Jason. You are not far across the black hole. You're still there. I don't know if the I don't know if the oh, battery exhausted. His battery died. Oh no. Eli says he's asking about the grain of sand stuck under his RX-10 focus ring. Not a deal breaker, but I would like to get it out. Any DIY ways of removing debris from under the lens ring? Eli, I do not have a good answer on that one. And I don't know if Jason's probably still getting things taken care of right now. So hopefully someone in the chat can recommend something. If air won't get it out, or maybe someone can help you. V for Valet. You're making an amazing travel video. You can only choose one of these two lenses, the 25 to f2 or the 40 f2 bodice. So Jason, you're making a travel video. You can only choose one of the two lenses, the 25 or the 40. Which one?
I don't know. I'll go for the 40, man.
Dang, there you go. 40. I would have went with the 25, but there you go.
Dude, my battery died because I haven't charged any of them yet.
War Chortle saying
I was doing battery for my A7 III.
War Chortle saying the 85 1.4 is on sale for $850 right now, new, and you can use another code for $800. I mean, it's appealing for the 85 1.4 Sigma. It's just that the 85 1.8 from Sony is good enough already. But if you need better, I mean, I don't know. Jason, do you still recommend the Sony over the Sigma? I do.
1.8 or 1.4? What?
Yeah, this.
Yeah, I mean, for the size, dude, the size itself, it's just the Sony definitely has the upper hand. So I still go for the Sony regardless. And the 1.8 is $600.
Yeah,
good enough.
Danny Dam QA. What do you guys recommend? The Sony 24 1.8 or the Sigma 30 f 1.4? Those are two different lenses. One's APS-C, obviously different lenses, but one's APS-C, one's full frame.
Depends on what you're going to use it for.
Yeah.
Sam Collin, Q&A, looking to get my A9 hot shoe fixed. Jason, do you know if we can just walk into the Pro Support Los Angeles Center and get it done? You can drop it off, but they're not going to get it done on the same day. Likely, they'll probably send it to Precision Camera to get it fixed, or I'm not too sure, but you're not going to get it back the same day.
Dean Barber, QA, any rumors on the what's next gen Sony APS-C considering the Alpha 6500 for 1350 Canadian? We still don't know, Dean, unfortunately. It's just predictions are, I would say that we're probably going to see a camera around first quarter of 2019. But again, that's all just speculation. Only because I would imagine because Panasonic's bringing out their camera. So who knows? Maybe we'll see an A7000 announcement tomorrow, but I doubt it.
Taka Sub following up with that question for the budget landscape lens, $1,000 or under. Yeah.
What about the Sony 16 to 35 f4?
There you go.
You might be able to catch it for under 1,000 with some discounts.
Yeah,
just a thought.
George Daniels, after 6 months on my Tamron, it has dust and dirt in it. Have you guys heard anything about this? No.
No, haven't.
So dust and dirt got in. Might have to send it in to get it cleaned.
I mean, the dust is fine, but if it's dirt, it's a different situation. Dust is usually okay to some degree if it's very minuscule. Is it affecting your images already? That's probably another question. See, Pritchard just falling up. Got the 24 1.4.
I'm a little bit slanted. I think I don't. I didn't put my camera back on right. I'm sorry, guys.
The ship is sinking. Folks, we're going to be on for maybe a few more minutes here, so we'll tackle a few more questions here. And don't forget, if you haven't had a chance to, smash that like button if you can. Would greatly appreciate it.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it in flash.
There it is. Smash that like button if you haven't had a chance. We'll be on for a few more minutes to tackle some of your awesome questions. All right, here we go.
Everything is awesome.
Favorite non-Sony macro lens. I mean, the Sigma 70 I tried was good. The FE version, it was all right, but I still preferred the Sony. The Sony was just so good. The 91,
so good. I have no idea where I am anymore.
It's okay. David Vaney, hashtag weird flex, but okay. Talking about the two A7 IIIs.
Sorry. Yeah. That made me pull out another one. JPH, future collab. What happened?
Go ahead, man. Just go ahead.
Future collab with Ted Forbes or Chris Howe to look forward to. Maybe guests on the Potato Live show. Yeah, we have videos coming out. So hopefully by this week, one of us will have it out already. But yeah, we would love to we need to get people on the show, Danny. Keep saying that.
All right.
But it's usually when I disappear, that's when Danny brings on the guest.
Michael Misho saying, come on, Jason, you can tell us the truth. It overheated. Which fire?
It did not overheat.
Andre's asking, what is Jason's camera for this live?
A7R3. It's been what I've been using. For whatever reason, I can only get the A7R3 to work with the Cam Link. I don't know why it doesn't work with the 7.3.
It's that Cam Link, man. I'm telling you.
Bizarre.
You know what's weird? They don't sell the Cam Link anymore, Jason. It's gone.
What?
It's gone. It's completely gone. It's not for sale anymore.
Why did they pull it?
Well, I know for sure B&H Photo doesn't have it on anymore, but I was looking on Amazon. I think it's no longer for sale.
Oh, shit.
Like, it's not being sold as an actual new item. Am I wrong?
Camlink V2.
There you go. Lorraine's asking, will Sony do an update for better out-of-camera color? And still on the fence for a second body, A7R2 or the A7 III? Jason?
Will Sony do an update for a better out-of-camera color? Like, is it that bad I don't know. I don't think so. In terms of like updating color, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good right now.
And second body, depending on what your first camera body is, Lorraine, I'd try to shoot for the A7 III if possible. Unless you really need the 42 megapixels. Yeah, just my recommendation there.
Contran, that's Sony, but opinions on the DJI Osmo Pocket for vlogging. It looks great. It's maybe not wide enough. It's a 26 millimeter equivalent. And the audio is kind of garbage straight out of the camera. So that might be something that you might have to deal with.
But it looks like they'll have some adapters potentially for that to address it going into the future. But yeah. Ajit Mahado, any news on the Tamron 16 to 35 f 2.8? Unfortunately, nothing that I've heard of. Jason?
Nothing. Nope. Haven't heard of anything. aside from that 7200 that we just dropped today. That's a rumor, though.
Your thoughts on the Sony 100-400 versus an adapted Sigma 150-600 for wildlife? Jeff Miller is asking. I haven't shot wildlife, so I would imagine at this point the adapting with the MC11 on the Sigma. I haven't used that particular combo, but I feel very certain that it's going to be very decent. It's going to work very well, I would imagine, with the MC11. So I think it's a good option. I think the 600 will make a lot more sense for you, right? For the wildlife stuff, you need a lot more reach on that end. So I think it would work well, the 150-600. Okay. Dion Chapman. This link will explain changing colors. Okay, show. There we go.
Boom.
Put on me. Nobody buys a Sony for its beautiful color sights.
Oh.
All right. We'll read like one more thing here. Robert Hernandez. Hello from New York. I just got my A7 III and my Sony 85 f1.4. Sold my Canon 6D Mark II. So happy to be in the Sony Alpha family. Well, Robert, welcome aboard. All right. Speaking of Jason disappearing, I think that's going to kind of wind down the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us again this evening on our Monday Live podcast. Next week, we'll be on Jason's channel, so make sure you are there and subscribe to him. And before you head on out, make sure to smash that like button before you leave. Jason, do you have any final parting words for our
next week? All cameras will be charged.
Did your battery just die? A second battery die?
Dude, none of my stuff is charged right now. I had to steal a battery from the 7 III. I didn't even look at like what percentage that was. So I'm guessing it exhausted itself. So next week, batteries will be charged.
Understandable. Completely understandable. So there you go. Hopefully it'll be a review off for the Sigma 56 1.4 then. And that's going to do it for us, guys. That's going to do it for us, guys. We'll catch you on the next podcast. Peace.